Hi, hey, welcome back to my channel. And this is kind of going to be just like a sit down video. I was going to just do it in like a vlog type style, but I was just sitting there just talking and my arm was getting tired, and I realized this was probably going to be a longer video than I was expecting, because I was just going to kind of like brush through it and not really give too much, I guess, but I just kept going. But if you guys hear any noise in the background, that's my dryer. I have Juliana's collar and leash and harness drying right now. This video is going to be about my eating disorder, but I just want to preface at the beginning of this video that serious topics, I have a defense mechanism, and I kind of make a joke out of everything, and I laugh a lot talking about it because I am a weirdo, and that's just me. If I'm working on it, but if I'm like joking and cracking little jokes and laughing here and there, please don't take it to heart. Don't get offended. If you're triggered by this video, if you're triggered by talking about eating disorders, or if you have any type of eating disorder or any triggers, I would advise that you probably should not watch this video. I guess I'm gonna jump right into it. I think I'm gonna do like a part 2 to this because my very first addiction was to drugs, and I've been sober since I was 18 years old, and so your girl's been sober. I've been sober for like, what is that, 13, 14 years? I'll be 32 next month. What? 32? I used to be afraid to say my age. Anyways, okay, wow. I get distracted so fucking easily. Yes, I'm sitting on my floor. Who is comfortable on the couch? My eating disorder started early. I will say I didn't notice that I had an eating disorder in high school that much, but you know, I did. I just didn't know that that's where it began. You know, when you're a teenager, you're going through so many different things. There's growing pains, there's, you know, all these new types of personalities and looks and body sizes and everything. So, and on top of that, I was dealing with my own personal, emotional things that I was going through and putting on a facade like I was happy all the time. And that's how everyone knew me to be. Everyone knew me to be super happy all the time. Like, oh, if Audrina's here, it's gonna be a good time. I was the goofy one. I was the life of the party. Everybody wanted me around all the time. And then I would go home and I would cry. I got so used to being that person that I almost became a robot. So I was introduced to drugs at a college party. I was probably about 14 at the time, and I think the first drug that I tried was marijuana. It was weed, and I wasn't addicted. I don't know if you can get addicted to marijuana. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I never had an issue with weed. But then the drug that got me was meth. That was my second drug. It wasn't like something less harsh, I guess. They're all fucking bad, but I tried meth, and I was hooked. And then after meth came cocaine and then heroin. And I was shooting heroin in my thighs. And I honestly did not believe that anybody knew that I was on drugs. And I hid it pretty well, but when I look on some of those pictures, I can definitely see the difference in what was happening to me, but I would hide it so well that some people didn't ask. I don't know if people knew or not, but people just didn't ask me if something was wrong or if I was okay or if I was on drugs. But no one really knew. I went to rehab when I was 17. And I was found the reason why I went to rehab is because I was found on a park bench in another city and taken to a hospital because my clothes were torn up. I had bruises all over my body, and it wasn't from anybody doing anything to me. Like nobody like jumped me or beat me up or raped me or anything like that. I was just bruised up from doing so many drugs. Like I was shooting up everywhere. I was running out of places to do it. I guess I'm just talking about my drug addiction as well, because that is the reason why my eating habits got so much worse. So this might be a long video, but went to rehab. I hated the group sessions. I hated talking about my feelings. I hated expressing myself in front of a bunch of strangers. I didn't want to fucking do it at all. The withdrawals were difficult, but it was the talking part to other people, talking to a therapist, talking to a group of people that was like I don't ever want to do this again. It was the worst thing for me. When I look back on that time, I absolutely hated talking to people. I hated talking about my feelings. I hated it. But at the same time, the people that I wanted to talk to about my feelings, the people that I wanted to express myself to, didn't ask about me at all. They didn't care about me at all. And now that I'm older, I realize it's not their fault, because I wasn't telling anyone. I could have talked to someone. I could have said something. I was around a ton of friends who did actually love me so much, but I got so caught up in this facade that I didn't think they actually really cared about me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think that they actually gave a fuck about what I was going through or anything like that. So I didn't talk to people. So in these group sessions, I absolutely hated it because one, I didn't want to share my feelings because I was a robot, by the way. I didn't want people to know that I had other feelings other than happy. And I also wasn't talking to the people that I wanted to talk to. But the withdrawals, that shit was also a moment for me that was just like, I never want to feel this way again. I never want to do it ever again in my life. And I went to rehab like late in when I was 17. Like it was like right before my 18th birthday. So when I got out of rehab, I was 18. And I never did another drug after that. Ever, except for I did weed a couple of times. Like I smoked weed a couple of times, but that was when I was in like my 20s, like early 20s, like 21, 22. Like I did it maybe like 2 or 3 times, but I still, like, I had no desire to do anything. Like in those 2 or 3 times, it was just like, okay, like, let's do it. We're being wild. Let's go. We're being wild babies. When I was a teenager, I used to do weed. I used to smoke weed all the time in high school with friends, and we'd go on vacations and do all of that stuff. But the drugs, that was the kicker. But I had cut out everyone that I hung out with that did drugs, and they were from another town. They were all college students, and I had known them since I was like 14. Some of them had graduated college, and I was hanging around those types of people now. My friends that I went to high school with, they had no idea. Like, they just thought I was losing a bunch of weight. And I'll put some photos around here, but it was a lot. So after that, I was smoking cigarettes a lot, and then I started eating. And it took me until I was about 25 for me to actually realize that I do have a problem. Like, I have a problem with eating. I saw myself go from 160 all the way up to 320 pounds. And I was so fucking heavy. Like, I was eating full-on rotisserie chickens by myself, a family-size bag of white cheddar popcorn, 2 king-size Reese cups, and I would have like the family-size bag of peanut M&Ms, and that was dinner. That wasn't lunch, that wasn't breakfast, I wasn't sharing with anyone. That was my entire dinner. And I would still come up with excuses. And, you know, Hupster, he would see me, like, there were times that he would see me throughout the day and be like, I don't know how you're gaining weight because you don't eat that much at home. And that's how I played it. Like, I worked out all the time, and I was, you know, I would eat little things here and there. Like, I'd have me a little salad and whatever. But then as soon as I would leave, or as soon as he was gone, I would go absolutely ape shit. Like, I would go to the store and I would just buy stuff like I was going to some, like I was gonna have a party or something. But nope, it was all for me. And then when I went vegan about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now, I found new ways to binge, and I found all these delicious snacks and treats and goodies, and I was doing the same thing. And I would freak out sometimes, and I would have these moments where I would binge so hard, and then I would feel so guilty afterwards, and I would literally be sobbing. Like, I'm like, babe, I really need to talk to you. Like, I have something terrible. And it would be so dramatic. And when I think about it now, I kind of laugh because so extra. But he was thinking like, oh my God, like, what happened? Like, what did you do? Like, he was thinking like, did you cheat on me? And I was just like, oh my God, it's so horrible. You're gonna hate me. And then I would be like, I ate, and I'd pull out this bag, this garbage bag, and it would be full of trash. You know, the vegan Cheez-Its. I'm not gonna say any vegan at all, but they were all vegan snacks. And I found all these new snacks. So it was like Cheez-Its and chips and popcorn and chocolates and all of this stuff in this big ass grocery bag. And he just went, you ate all of this? Today. I was like an hour ago. Because that's what I would do. That was my cycle. I would blow up really fucking big, and then I would lose a bunch of weight. And that was my other thing too. When I was dieting, I would eat 1 meal a day. And I mean 1 meal meaning like a salad with cucumbers and dressing, and that was it. Or I put some croutons on it. Or I'd have a smoothie, and that would be my 1 meal of the day. And my smoothie would be in something like this. And I would just fill it all the way up to the top, and that would make me feel like I ate a lot, because that was like huge, just a huge cup. And so I would drop weight so fast, and then I would look really skinny, and then I'd be like, okay, great, now I can binge. I can reward myself with some snacks. No. I would make a big pot of pasta, and I'd eat the whole thing myself. I'd get, 4 of the Beyond Burgers, and I would cook all 4 of them and eat them. And then I would see myself gaining weight, and then I'd stop myself and be like, you're almost at 300 pounds again. We don't want to do that again. And then as of about a month ago, I really had this breakdown with myself. And I was just like, when are you going to take your life seriously? Rewarding yourself with snacks, rewarding yourself with this and that, it's not healthy. It's not good for you. You are literally damaging yourself. Just because it's vegan, you're telling yourself it's fine. It's all plant-based. I'm good. Like you can't gain weight while you're vegan, which I was. And last month I was 275 pounds, which was hard for me to deal with. And I know that I didn't look that big, but you guys have to also realize that I'm tallish. I'm 5'9". So I have a long torso. So my problem area is my belly. Like everything I eat goes here. Like it doesn't go anywhere else. It just goes to my belly. So I'm walking around looking like a capital P, and it's just not the business. I was just so angry at myself, and I almost fell into a deep ass, dark ass depression. And I know that's also a very serious topic to be talking about, but mental health is a very serious thing, especially when you add on an eating disorder with that and the guilt that comes afterwards, and you actually hate yourself. Actually hate yourself. It is not a healthy thing to be doing to yourself. So for the last month, I have been working on portion control, which I have never done before. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I kind of get the grasp of it now, and it's been working. You're not supposed to be dropping that much weight every day. Like I was dropping probably about 5 pounds a day. And it would fluctuate between like 5 to 3, 2 pounds, but every day I was dropping a lot of weight. And by the end of the week, I would have lost I lost 25 pounds in a week. And it's like, well, duh, you're not eating. And I only drink water, which I still do now because water is just my life. I love it so much. But I knew I wasn't healthy at all. I would get really dizzy. I would be lethargic all the time. I was always fucking sleepy. But I realized that something needed to change. So I started portion controlling, and Hubster is doing it with me because Hubster also has an eating disorder. His eating disorder is just binge eating. He doesn't stop eating like I do. And that's the annoying part about me, is like I either binge or I don't eat at all. There's no medium. It's just extreme. And that's all it was. So now I'm working on a balance in my life. I'm working on bettering myself in the best possible way to lose the weight that I want to lose, because I do want to lose weight, but I also want to love my body in every stage that it's in. And that is wonderful that I'm learning to do that now. So I am losing weight, and in this month I've probably lost a good 25 pounds in a month, which is good for me because I would lose that in a week if I were being super unhealthy with myself. So, and that makes me happy. I'm still in the 200. I'm like 249 now. So that'll tell you some things. I guess I just wanted to come and talk to you guys, and anybody who's going through anything right now, whether it be an eating disorder, any kind of disorder, if you're battling depression, high anxiety, and that was another thing I was battling with. I had high anxiety. I did not want to go outside at all. I didn't want to go outside because I didn't want to be going outside looking like a pumpkin. I didn't want to do it. Like, it was so embarrassing sometimes. Like, if we went somewhere and there was someone else, like if Hupster and I went on a hike or whatever, and there was like another couple walking, they would stop. And the girl actually asked me, how far along are you? So I rolled with it because it was better than saying, oh, I'm just overweight. I'm just fat. So I said, oh yeah, I'm 6 months pregnant. And she was like, oh my gosh, oh, you look beautiful, you're glowing. And I'm like, that's not me, that's Future Dew from Glossier, but I'll take it. That was super embarrassing for me. So we started going on higher hikes up mountains and stuff where nobody is really going these days. And we would go super early because I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want people to see me. I was super embarrassed, and it was all because of me, myself. I did this to myself. I couldn't be angry at anyone but me because I'm the one that's buying the food. I'm the one that keeps picking it up and putting it in my mouth. So I'm working on that now, and I am happy with the results that I'm seeing, and I'm happy that it's a slow progression, and I'm happy that I'm learning to eat normally and not try to kill myself in the process. Yeah, if you guys are battling with anything, let's work out together. Let's do it together. Like, let's help each other. Something like my social media is here and also will be down below, but reach out. Let's work on something together. If you have problems with anything, like, let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. I just want everyone to know that you're not alone at all. Whatever you're going through in your life, speak up. It is okay. You may be angry at people around you for not noticing that you're screaming for help, but 9 times out of 10, you don't even realize you're not showing anything. Or you're not even screaming out. You don't think you're screaming out for help. You just think people should notice that something's wrong with you. Speak up, because when you're putting on a facade for other people, that's all they're gonna see is that facade. They're only gonna see the happy, goofy side of you or whatever. Like, talk to people. Whatever facade you have on, whatever mask that you are wearing, take it off. Knock it out and speak to someone, anyone. It can be a complete stranger. It can be a best friend, your parents, you know, get it out of your system. Your dog, your cat, get it out of your system. Because the more you keep inside, the more you boil, and the more that water just starts exploding everywhere, and you're having mental fucking breakdowns and can't breathe. Like, talk, let it out. If you just need to talk, if you want to talk to me, reach out to me, anybody. So if you guys like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.